to the next point. We should ensure whatever we say is clear.
That means work is being done. We can see that it is in opposite direction.
Hello viewers and listeners at home. Welcome once again to the Kaduna State Ministry of Education e-learning. My name is Mercy Bainta Kude, one of your regular English language teachers. We have talked about so many things in the course of this program, and today we are going to talk about yet another interesting topic. Remember, from the very beginning of this program, I laid emphasis on words. I told you that words are building blocks in everything that we are going to do in the English class. No wonder today we are going to discuss homonyms, heteronyms, and homophones. These are categories of words that we use. Most times we get confused, but today we are here to throw in more light so that we'll get clarification in order to do better in the English language class. Now, what is a homonym, or what are homonyms? Homonyms are words that share the same spelling. They sound the same, but they have different meanings. Homonyms are words that are spelled the same. They sound the same, but the meanings of these words are different. Some of these words, called homonyms, could be nouns, while others could be verbs. Now, we talked about the different parts of speech. And here under homonyms, we are talking about nouns and verbs again, which means, like we have established earlier, there is no aspect of the English language where you will dwell on without using one or two parts of speech there. So, examples of homonyms. We have them in two categories here: homonyms that are nouns and homonyms that are verbs. 1, fly and fly. Fly and fly. 2, ring and ring. 3, tie and tie. 4, pen and pen. 5, bear and bear. 6, back and back. Now, taking a closer look at the words, you will understand that the nouns are names of things. If you remember the definition of nouns, a noun is a name of a person, animal, place, thing, or idea. So we have homonyms that are nouns, while others are verbs. Let's use sentences to illustrate the meaning of each of these words. 1a. The bird will fly away if you get closer. The bird will fly away if you get closer. The word fly here is serving the purpose of a verb because it is an action that the bird will do. 1b. A fly perched on the mango. A fly perched on the mango. The word fly here is a noun. It is an insect, the usual flies we see in our homes. So, a fly perched on the mango. 2, the dog will bark at every passerby. Some of us that have dogs in the house, when someone is passing, the dog begins to bark, woo, woo, woo. So that's an action being demonstrated by a dog. And we have B. Please get me the bark of a mango tree. That's the skin of a mango tree. Get me the bark of a mango tree. Remember, we have said that homonyms are words that sound the same. They are spelled the same, but their meanings are different. Homonyms could be nouns or verbs. Number 3a. Please tie the rope round the neck of the goat. Tie the rope. It's something. You have a rope. Put it round. Tie it on the neck of the goat. That is a verb. 3b. She will knot the tie for her husband. She will knot the tie. Men that wear suits, the woman knots it as the man dresses up. So she will knot the tie on her husband's neck. 4a, the animals are in their pen already. Pen here means an abode for animals, the house where the animals live. So the animals are in the pen already. 4b, he writes with a golden pen. He writes with a golden pen. Remember, homonyms are words that sound the same, they are spelled the same, but their meanings are different. A homonym could either be a noun or a verb. Now, let us take a look at this short passage. We're talking about homonyms here. So the passage says, the man left home. By turning to the left side of the spotlight, he discovered that he forgot to make use of his arm to arm the alarm. So the next thing he did was to turn right because that was the right thing to do. I'll take it again. The man left home. By turning to the left side of the spotlight, he discovered that he forgot to make use of his arm to arm the alarm. So the next thing he did was to turn right because that was the right thing to do. You see, there is a play with words here. So these words that we have played with are homonyms because they sound the same, they are spelled the same. But taking a closer look at the passage, they serve different meanings. The next is the heteronyms. What are heteronyms? Heteronyms are words that have the same spelling, but have different pronunciations and different meaning. They have the same spelling, but pronunciations and meanings are different. Same spelling, different pronunciations, different meaning. For example, A. We have our word there, record. And the sentence says, it is the teacher's job to record the new work record. It is the teacher's job to record the new word record. Same spelling, different pronunciation, different meaning. B, contest. To contest the issue, they held a contest. To contest the issue, they held a contest. C, insult. You can insult someone by shouting an insult. You can insult someone by shouting an insult. D, we have the word permit. Permit me to show him my valid permit. Permit me to show him my valid permit. And E, present. Present the present to her. Present the present to her. In the usage of these words, you would also realize that some of the words are verbs, while others are nouns. Very often, words are used in more than one part of speech. In the examples above, the words are a result of a word taking on the grammatical role of either a verb or a noun. And sometimes, some of these words could take the form of adjectives. The noun is stressed on the first syllable, while the verb is stressed on the second syllable. In the examples that we will see, on each word, the part that is stressed is written in capital letters. So let's go on. For instance, we have the column for nouns again, and we have the column for our verbs. Remember in the explanation, I said the noun is always stressed on the first syllable, while the verb is stressed on the second syllable. So it is the shift in stress that defines the meaning of these words. Number one, record. Record. And the verb is record. So we have record and record. As a noun, record is a thing, but to record is to put down in writing, to document. We have contest and contest. Contest and contest. We have insult and insult. Insult is a thing, but to insult is an action. We have permit and permit. We have permit and permit. Here we have minute and minute. Remember, we said some of them can take the form of an adjective. When we talk of minutes, we're talking about time. 1 minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes. But when we say something is minute, it means it is very small, very tiny. And when we describe something as tiny, it is an adjective because it is telling us of size, adjective of size. So we have minute and minute. We have present and present. We have refuse and refuse. To refuse is to say, no, I'm not going to do it, but refuse, that's what we have. So to identify and differentiate the verbs and nouns in sentences, you need to understand the context in which the words are used in the sentences. You need to understand the context. For instance, if I make a sentence, the boy refused to dispose the refuse. The words I'm using there have the same spelling, but the meaning and pronunciations are different. The boy refused to dispose the refuse. So you need to understand the context where these words are used in order to get a better meaning. The difference in pronunciation is usually a shift in the stress pattern. I know some of you will be wondering what a stress pattern is. I equally know that Mr. Pedro Nkom has been taking you on stress pattern, and by the time he comes back, he will lay more emphasis so that we will get clearance on what the stress pattern is. But like I illustrated earlier, for the sake of work like this, the stressed part of the sentence, the stressed syllable is written in capital letter, while the one that is not stressed is written in small letters. C, homophones. What are homophones? Homophones are words that sound the same, but they are spelled differently and their meanings are different. Whenever you want to remember your homophones, remember the telephone. Sound, what do you hear? So these are words that sound the same, but their spellings are different and their meanings are different. For example, we have rain and rain. Rain, R-A-I-N, and rain, R-E-I-G-N. Two, we have two and two. T-O-O and T-W-O. Number three, we have allowed and allowed. Allowed and allowed. The first allowed is A-L-O-U-D, and the second is A-L-L-O-W-E-D. We have arms and arms, A-R-M-S and A-L-M-S. Then we have as number five, air and air, A-I-R and H-E-I-R. Now, examples of sentences that illustrate the meaning of the homophones in use. Number one, it is about to rain. It is about to rain. That's talking about the rainy seasons, the weather, water that comes from above. It is about to rain. 1B, your kingdom shall reign over the entire nation. That's talking about R-E-I-G-N. Talking about rulership, talking about kingship. Your kingdom shall reign over the entire nation. Remember, we said homophones are spelled differently and their meanings are different. 2, I love eating pear. I love eating pear. Pear here, P-E-A-R, is a fruit. B, Musa bought a pair of shoes yesterday. That's talking about two things brought in a group, a pair, two. Musa bought a pair of shoes yesterday. 3, you need to speak aloud for the benefit of those at the gallery. You need to speak aloud. Speak aloud so that everybody can hear you clearly. A-L-O-U-D. 3B, he was not allowed into the class because he lied about his teacher. He was not allowed, meaning he was stopped from entering the class because he lied about his teacher. Allowed here is spelled A-O-O-W-E-D. When you are being stopped from entering the class, it means you were not allowed to enter the class. 4A, her arms are bad. Her arms are bad. Her arms are bad. 4B, it is good to give alms to the poor. It is good to give alms to the poor. 5A, the smell of perfume fills the air. The smell of perfume fills the air. 5B, Iro is an heir to the throne. Iro is an heir to the throne. That's talking about kingship, rulership again. Now, homophones, heteronyms, and homonyms appear a bit tricky and sometimes confusing. But practicing and mastering this can help you avoid mistakes in grammar and therefore help you become a better English user. So that is what we have. Whenever you come across words like this, for you to identify your homonyms, remember that they are spelled the same. When you hear homonyms, remember writing, you are spelling the same. When you hear heteronyms, they are spelled the same but pronounced differently and their meanings are different. For your homophones, just remember your telephone, remember your handset. What do I hear? It means the sounds are the same, but the meaning different and the spellings are different. Okay, before we come to the end of this lesson, let's quickly go through what we have said. Remember, homonyms are words that share the same spelling, same sound, but different meanings. Examples of homonyms, we have fly and fly, ring and ring, bear and bear, back and back, tie and tie. We have pen and pen, and so on. Always remember, homonyms are spelled the same, pronounced the same, but their different meanings are different. Also remember, in homonyms, one is a noun while the other is a verb. Always remember, a noun is a name and a verb is an action. Now, let's check the following sentences. 1. The bird will fly away when you get closer. That's a verb. 1B, a fly perched on the mango. The fly here is a noun. 2, the dog will bark at every passerby. That's a verb. 2B, please get the bark of a mango tree. That's a noun. 3, please tie the rope around the neck of the goat. That's a verb, asking you to do something. And the noun, she will knot the tie for her husband. That strap, that thing that you put around when he's wearing a suit is called a tie, so it's a noun. 4A, the animals are in the pen already. That's the abode, the place where the animals stay. 4B, he writes with a golden pen. Let us take a look at this short passage illustrating homonyms. We say, the man left home. By turning to the left side of the spotlight, he discovered that he forgot to make use of his arm to arm the alarm. So the next thing he did was to turn right because that was the right thing to do. B, heteronyms. These are words that are spelled the same. Their pronunciations are different and their meanings are different. For example, record. It is the teacher's job to record the new word record. It is the teacher's job to record the new words record. To record is to document, and the new word record is that thing, the stuff that you are documenting. B, contest. To contest the issue, they held a contest. To contest, to do, to go into competition. And the main event is a contest. C, insult. You can insult someone by shouting an insult. The act of shouting it, action, that's the verb. And the insult is the bad things that you say to someone. That is insult. D, permit. Permit me to show him my valid permit. Permit me to show him my valid permit. E, present the present to her. Give the gift to her. In other words, that is what it means. So present is to give. The present is a gift. So present the present to her. Very often words are used in more than one part of speech. In the examples above, the words are a result of one word taking on a grammatical role of either a verb or a noun. Sometimes some of these words take the form of adjectives. The noun is stressed on the first syllable, while the verb is stressed on the second syllable. For instance, we have the noun record. R-E, capital letter for the noun, and the verb, C-O-D, capital letter, which means the stress, when you pronounce, we'll hear more of the stress. If it's a noun, we hear it on R-E. If it's a verb, the stress goes back to C-O-D, and that is how you create the difference in the pronunciation of these words. And by doing so, it helps you understand the context in which the words are used. To identify and differentiate the verbs in sentences, the verbs and nouns, you need to understand the context in which the words are used in the sentences. Understand the situation, understand the message that the person is trying to pass across. The difference in pronunciation is usually a shift in stress. We have said that. So once there's a shift in stress, it means the pronunciation automatically changes. Homophones are words that sound the same, but different spellings and different meanings. Remember, homophones, your telephone, the sound, emphasis on the sound. Example of words that are homophones are R-A-I-N, R-E-I-G-N, rain and rain. We have two and two, T-O-O and T-W-O. We have allowed and allowed, arms and arms. We have air and air. Examples of this kind of words in sentences. Number one, it's about to rain. That's R-A-I-N. 1B, your kingdom shall reign over the entire nation. That's R-E-I-G-N. 2A, I love eating pear. That's a fruit, P-E-A-R. 2B, Musa bought a pair of shoes yesterday. That's one pair of shoes yesterday. You need to speak aloud for the benefit of those at the gallery. Then he was not allowed to enter the class. Her arms are bad. Then it is good to give alms to the poor. So we'll move on to our assignment. And it says, make a sentence that will illustrate the meaning of each pair of words provided below. Make a sentence that will illustrate the meaning of each pair of words provided below. Number one, R and R. H-O-U-R and O-U-R. R and R. 2, tire and tire. T-I-R-E and T-Y-R-E. Number 3, subject and subject. Subject and subject. The stress pattern on the first subject is on SUB, while the second one, the stress is on the second syllable. Number 4, pair and pair. P-E-A-R, P-A-I-R. Number 5, C and C. The first C is spelled S-E-A, and the second C is spelled S-E-E. and that gives us C and C. For reference, in addition to your regular textbooks, you may wish to Google Mr. Manik Joshi, amazon.com.homonyms, homophones, and homographs, vocabulary builder, English word power, volume 3. I'll take that again. In addition to your regular textbooks, please Google amazon.com.homonyms, homophones, and homographs, vocabulary builder, English word power, volume 3 by Manik Joshi. My name remains Mercy Bainta Kude, and you can contact me on 080-250-25339. Mercy Bainta Kude. You can contact me on 080-250-25339. And your interpreter for today has been Mr. Anthony Lokoja. You could equally send questions to him if you want clarifications in any way. Remember, COVID-19 is real. Stay home, stay safe, keep learning. See you in our next lesson. Goodbye for now.